My name is Collins,
And I'm Hamjit.
and we're going to be talking about the colonial and modernist artwork of Australia. This is the National Gallery of Victoria, where Harmanjit and I visited on the 7th of November 2013 at Federation Square. Inside, it includes one of the biggest collection of colonial artworks of Australia in Australia. These artworks show the early stages, the hardships of pioneers, the truth about the landscape, and the story of how remarkably far we've come. The artworks are set so as you walk through the gallery, you are actually walking through the early stages of the sunburnt country in a time-like sort of event from start to finish. Beside each artworks are short snippets about the painting you're viewing, enough to satisfy your curiosity, also understandable for the kids. The atmosphere is calm enough to take in the beauty or the harshness of these artworks. Art lovers would enjoy walking through the NGV, as it is like a story of the early parts of Australia, a history lesson if you will.
The National Gallery of Australia's collection of Australian art reflects its unique national responsibility to present the story of visual art in Australia. The gallery's permanent displays of Australian art are presented in an integrated and broadly chronological arrangement, as mentioned, and includes a whole range of artwork from paintings and sculptures, photographs, to decorative arts and design, and other works on paper. Along with a variety in artwork, there is also a large number of different styles featured in this gallery, which include Australian surrealism, symbolism, expressionism, and contemporary. Certain art styles seem to be similar in the design, color palette, such as some impressionist art pieces and symbolism pieces. These include pieces from Tom Roberts and Hans Heisen, which had some similar pieces. However, at the same time, pieces from surrealism and expressionism, which can be similar and at the same time very, very different. The exhibition space is very open and made in a comfortable manner, making it easy to navigate as you travel through each room, which are like different snapshots and timeline of Australian artwork.
Collins Street, 5 p.m. is an artwork by John Brack. It is a painting of Melbourne set in 1955 in an industrialised, modernised Australia. John Brack likes to recreate artworks that look simple at a first glance, but turn out to be very complicated. He likes to use a sepia tone in his painting, not using the full potential of all the colours there are to offer. This gives the intended effect to make the paintings look inexpressive and dull, but in reality shows as much expression as other artworks. This particular artwork, Collins Street, is in Melbourne with around 70 people or so walking in one direction. This gives the desired effect of a bland, meaningless Melbourne. If we look at the people's faces, you cannot see most of their eyes, and their faces are as expressionless. No emotion is shown. Their clothes are the same and match with the saddened faces. The colour tone of this artwork is very similar to the colour tone of Brack's other artworks. It is a sepia type of tone, which is, for those who do not know, a sepia tone consists mainly of yellows, browns, and blacks. Using this type of colour tone adds to the feeling of dullness and the uselessness of all the people. There is no actual focal point in the painting. There is nothing that grabs the most attention from the other subjects in the painting. Everything carries equal amount of expression. Also, the fact that all of them are walking towards one direction gives the added effect of uselessness and dullness. None of them can break away from everyone else, but instead must follow each other. And this is also another factor of there being no focal point. If only one person walked the other way, it'd be the very first thing you notice. This appeals to me as it is a breakaway from other artworks in the gallery. Other artworks portray modernist Australia as a wonderful period of time to be in, but Brack's works show it as a dull, meaningless, and without direction. Collins Street is a fine example, and though I have showed you fully how inexpressive this painting is, it has given me a different point of view of modernist Australia that none of the artworks have quite been able to do. This painting is boring, but that is what makes it so great.
The second artwork which I'll be talking about is Home Again by Frederick McCubbin. Frederick McCubbin was an Australian painter who was prominent in the Heidelberg School, one of the more important periods in Australia's visual arts history. McCubbin creates an engulfing, claustrophobic landscape by barely suggesting any horizon and compressing midground and background. In contrast, the bush folk are portrayed as heroic figures, and some of his more famous artworks include The Pioneers, Down on His Luck, and Bush Burial. Frederick McCubbin lived in Melbourne and its surrounds for his entire life and made Melbourne the central subject of his art. No other Melbourne artists were known better than him during his lifetime. He often worked with Tom Roberts, who was a close friend, and so the two had very similar art style, which was contemporary and a sepia restricted tone, commonly portraying the Australian art lifestyle. Home Again is a narrative-based painting which shows multiple events going on at the same time, which remove a main central focus from the artwork. However, the eye seems to follow the man, from his entry to the door, to his outstretched arm, to the dog so eager to see its master return, and resting on the woman's response, giving a hint to the drama which is about to unfold. It is a very simple artwork which differentiates itself from McCubbin's other artworks, which have a very bland, almost dull color palette. In this painting, you can see other colors, including shades of red and blue. There is a multiple of principles and elements shown in this painting, including color, shape, movement, tone, along with balance and contrast together. This particular artwork sits in one of the earlier rooms of the exhibition, near the starting of the timeline of artworks, which goes to show the changes in living in Australia. I find this a very attention-seeking painting, as it is one of the few paintings which showcase drama and the harsh realities which are prominent but often not shown in the other paintings in this gallery.